Hi, I'm Scott King. I'm an alumni of the University of Colorado Boulder, and I've been working with the university on climate action and basically helping students understand the science of climate change and what are the solutions around it. And so one of the things that we've done is basically built a fund called the Climate Action Fund. And this is a fund that allows donors that care about this issue of educating students on climate change and solutions around it to be able to support the university in that effort. We have a crisis in front of us. Climate change is a crisis. It's to the point where if we don't act now, it's going to be too late. You know, when I talk to students, they get it. They understand what's at stake with climate change. The frustrating part for them is they feel powerless sometimes. What we have to do is empower that next generation. And if we're going to solve this problem, we're going to have to educate that next generation about the science, the energy systems, the ways that we can solve climate change today. 75% of our climate crisis, of our greenhouse gases, are from burning fossil fuel. We know this, we can measure this, and yet we can't figure out how to stop it. And so how can a donor impact the work that CU is making on climate change? And specifically, in a way that educates and empowers these students to become the leaders that we need to solve this crisis. The great thing about the Climate Action Fund is it allows you to put money into CU that supports curriculum development for climate education. It supports helping faculty learn about climate, the science of climate, and incorporate that into their existing curriculum. And it helps support events, such as the Climate Action Expo. It's organized and managed under an executive committee, and this executive committee represents the university at large. It has CU administration in it, it has CU faculty, it has students, it has business leaders. If a donor has a particular program that the fund supports, they can say, I want to put money into that program. Or they can say, just generally fund this thing, and then the executive committee will figure out what's the most impactful thing that we can be working on. So as an alumni and donor to the University of Colorado, I think about what kind of impact that I can have. And I think about my kids' future and climate change. And they look at their future and say, what kind of world are we going to live in if we continue down this path? And so as a donor, helping educate students on climate change, helping the university engage on this is probably the most important thing I can do. And I think there's other donors that care about this as well. We as a community, a Boulder CU buff community, need to come together and help this next generation work on this issue. And the way we can do that is by donating to the Climate Action Fund. This is our legacy. This is our chance to make an impact. It's this generation's problem that our generation needs to support.